Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So in today's video, I'm just going to show you how to add beautiful charts into your Next.js app. And we're also going to be using the newly published Shadcn charts. So Shadcn have just released a library for charts, and it has thousands, if not millions of charts. Okay, so just going to look at how you can add these charts into your application, and this is the demo of how what we are going to build. First, we're just going to build a demo where we add these charts into your application. And after adding them, I will just go ahead and I show you the hurdles of using these charts in real production apps. Now, in theory, when you add them like this using their sample data, everything is beautiful using their data. But then when it comes to using your own data and even modeling the data to depict their data they used in here, it becomes actually a serious problem. But I went ahead and I actually demoed you how I added this data into my actual application, and this is going to be showing you how I model the data, what are the most things you need to know. So if you're just happy, let's dive in and do it together. Hello my friend, welcome to this video. So in today's video, I'm just going to show you how to add beautiful charts into your Next.js application. So Shadcn have just released the charts component, and they released a list, if not hundreds of charts that you can add instantly into your app. And I'm just going to show you how you can easily add this into your app. Okay, and I will just show you one challenge, okay, that I got while I was implementing these charts. Actually, the adding of a chart into your application is really easy, I think, very easy. But then I will just show you one challenge that you get while you're actually just building the actual app, as I'm just going to give you a demonstration on the actual app that I was working on. Okay, so they can just say that there's charts here. When you go to Shadcn, if you go to chat and you click, you can see now they have docs, components, blocks, charts, themes, and examples. So if you click on charts, they will bring you onto this page, right? So onto this page, you can just see that they built using Recharts. So if you just remember on my YouTube channel, if you just click here and you search for charts, you will see that actually I have ever made a video using the Recharts. As you can see here, reusable components in Next.js using Recharts. I actually made a video using Recharts, and I made also reusable components this side. And now the good thing that Shadcn went ahead and released the whole documentation about how you can implement charts into your app. And I just want to quickly show you how you can get this running. So to for the quick start, what I just did is simply go here and you search Shadcn on my YouTube channel. You will just go and see this first video here. Okay, the one we did Shadcn. Just click on it. I'm just going to pause it. Then down here, you're going to see that we have this source code. Just simply click onto the source code and they will take you here. So just go ahead and clone this. You can just go ahead.
You're looking to make your app the best it can be.
Sorry.
It sounds simple, but the
I'm
reality.
just going to actually close this. So just go here and simply GitHub and just simply clone this. So clone this, and after cd into it. So after you have downloaded it and you have cloned it, cd into it and just go ahead and run npm install. So if I can just show you the command here, you run I ran this command here, npm install and npm run dev. So it went ahead and installed all the packages and started it. Now it started it on localhost 3000 because I have another application I will in the future show you. That's why I started the two apps at the go. So I have this running on port 3001. If I just go to port 3001, it is this one running. And we did this where I showed you how to use Shadcn as a pro, and we talked about a number of things. Now, what I want to do right now, I will start by creating a page for charts so that we can have a page where we can actually add the charts for themselves in the front. I'm just going to create a new folder called charts, just like this. And then in the charts, I'm just going to create page.tsx, and I'm just going to say rfc. Okay. Just going to say rfc. I don't know why I'm just having this. Okay. I'm just going to put here h2 of charts. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to go to charts slash charts, just like this. Okay, so as it is just rendering that page, so you can see that build using copy and paste into your app, and it is open source. Very brief on what they try to show you. So to add it, you can just either just go here to view. Okay, and then down here when you scroll, there is code here, or the first step would be first going to documentation and install. So when you just go back here to either components, so when you go to components and you scroll down, you will see they have a new component chart. So click on the chart and you can see what they have here. So I will start by clicking on installation. And the only thing you just need is to follow this guide here. Note, if you are trying to use charts with React 19 or Next.js 15, you will need React Chart Alpha release currently. We are not using Next.js 15 and we are not using also React 19. You can confirm in your application by going into package.json and you check the packages we're using, and more especially for the Next.js is Next.js. You can see React is React 18, and where is Next.js? I can't find Next.js. Next.js is Next.js 14. So we don't need to install anything React Just Alpha. We don't. We simply just need to do this basic installation. The first one is just installing the charts themselves, the chart component. So I'm just going to open a new window or a new terminal here. And let me go ahead and install the charts just like that. Next, I'm just going to go here, add the colors. So the charts colors, you can simply go and add these charts colors into your CSS. So I'm just going to copy this and let's go ahead and add this into our CSS, which is global.css. So down, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and then paste this. And if you look at what we have pasted, is simply the charts colors. Okay, and we could just have added them into these ones. We just like complement on this, I guess. I don't know, like we could just like simply add them like that, because we already have the base. Could possibly just cut this and add layer base. So we have already add layer base, So at the bottom here, you can just simply add more, just like so. Then the same thing for the dark. I just cut these, and let me first drop this down, and then I just drop them onto the dark section here, just like this. Okay, and just simply now remove this. Okay, great. So having done that, you see that they tell you that now you can create your first chart. Okay, and they just tell you this will be the first chart, will be the bar chart, add the grid axis and blah blah. Okay, we're not going to go through these here. We just need simply to go to the actual nice charts that they have their side. The first one we could just add actually is onto this very one. So you could just go ahead and copy this code here, and let's create the first component. So I'm just going to go into my components and create a components. I create here a new charts. I'm just going to say charts, and inside the charts, let's create, for instance, this one is bar chart. Okay, group bar chart. I'm just going to call this one group a bar chart .tsx. I'm just going to paste everything here. Okay, you can see they have all this data. Okay, just like that. So to use this one, first of all, let's also rename this one. Okay, I'm just going to rename export function. I'm just going to say group bar chart. Okay, we're just going to use that group bar chart, just like this. So copy this, let's take it to our charts page. So on this page, I will simply just create a grid. So class name, I think we should have so many. So let me instead just put here dot a grid, then grid. So just going to call a two columns. In this one, let's just add it like that. So into this first one, I'm just going to simply add this group bar chart. Let me just give it a gap of 6. Okay, so if I just go now to the charts, okay, here on this page, we should just now have our first bar chart inside our application, and that's how easy it is to put a chart inside. We can just go back to our group chat. It doesn't show, we don't have any errors as we're using the chat here and the card. Okay, so we don't have any issues, and you can see quickly we have this. Okay, we have all nicely inside our app, just as easy as that. I'm just going to add another chart, and let me first add some padding to this. If I just go back to page, I'm just going to add padding Y of 8, okay, to give it some good spacing. So let's just go to where we have charts here. Okay, here we have a lot of charts. Okay, I'm just going to add 2 more charts, and then maybe we discuss about them, and I will just tell you the challenge that that you will just most especially the challenge you are most likely to meet in the real world. So I'm just going to go down here, get one more chart. This time I want to get a pie chart. So you can just scroll down here. They have these pie charts. I'm just going to go to view. In fact, you don't even to view. You can just simply copy this. Okay. So I'm just going to go here and get a pie chart. So under charts, I'm just going to say maybe custom pie chart. I just call this and maybe also grow pie chart. Okay, do tsx and paste. Okay, so if you have already installed the other ones, you will not find any problem as you're importing everything from Recharts, which is already installed, and also importing from the components charts, which you have already installed. So as I've said, it is just simply as easy as that. So you can just come here, we put group pie chart. I first go ahead and export it here. We can just go here and we export this as group by a pie chart. Okay, group pie chart. We have to make this one up to C, and maybe I'm just going to leave that one. So copy this and group pie chart just like this. And if we just go, this one is also going to be added into our app. Just refresh. Okay, so you can see we have this, and then we also have the pie chart looking really great. Okay, we have the pie chart really looking great. Now if you just do this, I guess like if you just checked into the code for this one, I don't know, here they have not provided the code. I don't know. I think they didn't provide the code. Anyways, we have it down there. So on the second one, the one you have just added right now, this one, if you just go to, you click on this view code, they always have the code plus the theme. So if you just want to have they have all the themes, and also down here you'll see that they have the colors for chart 1 up to chart 5. Okay, so if you just look at this is 173 58 39. If you just go and see ours, if you just go and see our global dot, okay, if you just go and see the what we have just added. Okay, this is a different color. So if you wanted them to look like this, I can just copy this. Just copy that, and I can replace it with these ones. Go down. Sorry, I simply copied again. I'm just going to go back. Down here, I will paste. Then also go in the dark, and you can just go also copy chart 1 up to 5. I think these ones just like this. Go back here, and we can just add where we have these. I'm just going to paste these ones. Okay, so if we go back to the chart, you can see that now the colors changed. So you can just simply just change the theme, or of these colors, how you want them to look like, you can just customize this in the theme section. Here, the chart one is a color that is going to be used across all the charts. And I think that is the best way of managing them, like you really consistent colors. So that's how it is done. Okay. So as we have here the two charts, we have here the two charts like this. You can just go ahead and add as many charts really. As I've said, the adding of the chart itself is really easy, right? You just go to the chart you want and simply just add it. It will simply work. Okay, it will simply work. Let me just see. I would want a line chart this time. Maybe we could just like add this line chart. I'm just going to copy the code with the line chart. We're just going to add 4 charts before we leave. I'm just going to also add another one, maybe create a group line chart .tsx rfc. You don't need to just paste this. I'm just going to rename this to group line chart, and I just go ahead and add this here, so you can duplicate this down here, and then here I'm just going to say group line chart, group line chart. Okay, and finally I'm just going to get one more chart. We should be like a area chart or something. So I'm just going to also go and get the area chart. This one, maybe copy this. Okay, I'm just going to go here, create one more chart, which is the area chart, group area chart. The tsx, this. Let's go ahead and export this component, change it here. Group area chart, just like this. Let's go ahead and use this in the charts page, just here. Okay, just like this. If you go back now, we should have 4 amazing charts, as you can see. Very beautiful, very consistent. This is really nice. Okay, now this is not the problem. So the actual problem is when it comes to adding your own data. Okay, if you are adding your own data, it is somehow more complicated than you think. Okay, so for instance, if you went to the bar chart, the problem is if you look at the chart now into details how this is done, they have used their own data, right? They have here, for instance, date. So you need first of all to have your data now also into this format. Okay, you can see you have dates. Okay, you have dates. You have dates for maybe April, and then you have these. Then you just continue, fifth, and you just like continue like that. And then they have the config. I think the most hard part is actually the chart config that make the colors actually work. Okay, so let's go into the part of actually trying to implement it in your application, and I'm just going to show you where the problems actually come from. And to show you that where the problems come from, I'm just going to add one more chart so that why you see why you're most likely to get a problem. So there is a chart we're just trying to put into our application, which is this one. I'm just going to copy this chart, pie chart, donut with text, this here. It's just like a normal chart. I'm just going to say donut chart. I'm just going to come here and I just say donut chart, do tsx, paste this. So this is done. The only thing I just need to do is just simply put here donut donut chart, and just bring it to the charts page. Okay, I'm just going to go where you have the group pie chart. I'm just going to put the donut chart. Okay, if I just go back here, sorry, if I just go back here, this is going to change into a donut chart. Refresh, and we have the donut chart. Okay, and these things, they look also, I think, amazing in the dark mode. I have not tested, but you can see they really look amazing. This is so nice. Look at them. This is really beautiful. Now, in the actual application, so I'm just going to leave this application. Okay. So in testing them out, you're using just like this dummy data they gave you here. You're using their data here. Now, the actual bit, when you're getting data from the database, that's where problems come in, how to manipulate. So this is the application you're working on in the course, and today we're just adding in the charts. So you can see that these are some of the familiar charts. Here we have the sales chart and the revenue by category chart. Now you can say the revenue by category chart, of course, is not looking so much great, but we managed just to put actually just this data. But this is not that easy as you think. So this you're seeing here, this chart here, you're seeing here was just one of the charts here. So I'm just going to scroll quickly to this kind of chart. It is a bar chart, which is definitely this one. Okay, this bar chart. So wanted to show sales. If you just look at this, this is, we are showing sales starting from a for the last for the past 7 days. You can see showing sales for the last 7 days, including today. Okay, so today is Monday. You can see Monday has 5 sales. This was Saturday, it has these 11 sales, and so on and so forth. The days which has no sales, you can see they have zeros, as you can see. But now, if you just go and I show you the code for this, of course, the implementation is the same. I'm just going to go to show you where these charts are. If I just go to my components, maybe I start with let me start with actually where they are located. Just here, dashboard analytics. I'm just also going to drop down this one. So I just want to go into this component. It is still loading. But as they still loading, I can just go to components, and I think they are under analytics. Front end, is it in the front end dashboard analytics? Okay, so you can see I have where I have the sales chart. Okay, so I have the sales chart. This is the same exact thing as you can see, but then now manipulating a this. Okay, having the data to come, for instance, from this was data now coming from the sales. If you look at the actual component, this component here under charts, let's look for it. It is here. I'm just going to go ahead and view code. Okay, and I'm just going to go and get this code here. Copy the code. Okay. Copy the code. Where is it? Here. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this for now so that we can see something. Go back and copy the code, and so that you can just see the code here. So this is the original code, how it looks like. So the first way to implement into your database or to add in data from your database into these charts, you have to first understand, analyze more especially the chart data. This is the most there are two parts, as I'm going to show you. There are two parts that are so much important while implementing this. So as you can see here, we have this charts data. So this chart data is, you can see it has a month, Jan, this, and then it has also desktop with a number here. And if you just go down here, you will see that this chart data is what is being fed into the bar chart. So the bar chart is taking into the data. It takes in the margin. You can of course increase the margin if you want, but this is taking in this like this. So that's the first thing. You need to pass in this data. And if you just look at the chart data itself, it has a month and the desktop. The month is a string and desktop is a number. Okay? So you have to get the data you're going to feed in should be matching this string here. Make sure the data you are just feeding in, this can change, this can be a date. This can be a day, this can be a week, this can be anything, but this should be a string, and this you are adding here in this place should be a number. And as you can see, this key is the same. You can't have different keys. You have to have like here, you have to have two keys, as simple as that. It has two keys, month and a date. You can also swap them and put any other text. This can be a date, can be maybe the sales, I don't know. Anything you want to do here. Okay. So to show you what I swapped it with, if I go to the actual chart here, you can just go and see my if you go here, you see I added the sales. Okay, I added the sales, and the sales have this day sales. If you just look at this day sales, if I just go ahead and I show you, you'll see that day sales has a day, which is a string, and sales, which is a number. So as I said, you must maintain the keys. There are two keys, plus the data type that is into these keys is the same. You can see the day, the string, and the sales is a number. Okay, so if I just come back here, so that is the first part. You must make sure the data types are matching, otherwise they will not work. Okay, if you bring any data of any shape and you try to fit it in, it will not work. Make sure that the data type you are feeding in into the charts, they actually match properly. Okay, that is the first thing. So the second thing that is very important, if you go back to this one, the second thing is actually the chart config. Okay, this chart config here. All the charts, they have the chart data and then they have chart config, as simple as that. Chart data and chart config. We started with the chart data. Now we want to explain about the chart config. So in the chart config, as you can see, it has desktop. Okay, now you can see that it takes in a key. Now in this case, we only have one here. The key that they have here, this is the key here. You can see desktop, and it is the key they have just used here, desktop. And you can have a label which has this, and you have also a color which has this. Okay, this is great. And this is one that specifies the color to use, and you can see it uses var HSL var chart1. So this is actually corresponding to chart1 in terms of the one you mentioned or the one you're using in CSS. Okay, so the one we defined in here, the ones we added here somewhere. Okay, maybe I added them down here. If you scroll down for this project, where are they? Okay, they're here. So the chart one and chart one. So these colors that are defined in the base are the one that are being referred in the chart config here. Okay, this color here. So if you want to change, like maybe yours, you want it to be chart, you can just change this to chart 2. You can change it to chart 3, any color you want. But just know the colors are just onto these ones. Okay, so this chart config comes into, you can see we have the chart container. So in the chart container is where we actually pass in the config. Okay, now if this config doesn't match very well, as you can see, the config is really a complicated object. You can see it is just an object, and inside it has this key. Okay, now if you simply just change it there and you stop there, it will not work, because you can see here on the bar itself, they are actually just putting data key, desktop, field. You can see they gave it a field here, right? So they have a field here, which is responding to this. So when I just like putting it in mine, you can see what we did. We have the chart config. Okay, so chart config is, now we changed it to sales. Okay, you just simply change it in the same, but the data type must remain. The type that they use there must remain. I have sales, which is the key. The label is sales, and then the color is the color I chose to use chart 2 instead of chart 1. If I scroll down, you don't stop there. If I scroll down, you see that in the bar here, I went ahead and I changed the key, and then the key onto this one. Okay, and the field, I also changed it to color cells, and this color cells is actually just getting it from this here. Okay, this is how you define it to come and have this. Now, the third problem, as I've said, is modeling this data to come. Okay, for instance, when you're dealing with dates, we had to deal with this package. I think I will have a day, uh, this package of date fn, a date npm. I'm just going to say date npm. Okay. Let me first see the package name. Just go to this actual one actually. You can see that we are getting this from, okay, it is called date fns, date. Okay, you can just go and look at this package. Like this package is good for manipulating dates. If you want me to make a video about it, guys, you can also tell me and I make a video about it. But it is really, really nice. You can see it has a function like format, compared. It has a lot of stuff it can really do with the dates. And it is the one we use it to come up, for instance, with the dates here. Okay, so as you can see, we had to go ahead and manipulate the data. If I simply go to this, where we are getting the sales here. So down here, we have get sales for the past 7 days, and not this one. Okay, we have get sales for the past 7 days. You can see that we're using this function. For instance, they have sub days. Okay, they have sub days. They have, for instance, each day of interval. So we used some nice functions here that helped us to have the data, to have the date if you look at the data that is being returned, if I just go to the sales chart here where we have this, if I just go ahead and I console.log, I just console.log sales, just like this. I think this is a use client, so we should be able to see it in the console. So if I just go here in the console, okay, you can see the sales chart. And if you just look at the data, you can't just look at this data how it is organized. It has a day and sales, and that's what I was saying. This must be a string, and this must be a number. You must maintain the same thing here. Okay, you need to maintain this. You can see string and this. So that's why we have it arranged like this. Okay. If you just go to this second example into this revenue by category, if you go in the original example, I'm just going to copy the original example, which is, I think, up here. Just going to copy this. And I'm just going to look for this copy. I will replace it with this one also. So now this one is a little bit different. First of all, as I've said, you have to maintain this here. As you can see that this has the data of this format. You can see that this has a field now. Okay, and this is why I made a problem. So you need to go and modify wherever you are sending and the data. You need to go ahead and how are you going to get these colors as a field of these ones? Because you have to create this chart here, chart data. That is one thing you need. And you can set this chart data is interrelated with this chart config. Okay. So what I did, actually, I think I forgot to add this chart field. Okay, I had to first get the chart data and then also to generate the chart config. If I go to revenue by category chart, and here you can see before we generate the config, I just want to show you that we have this into here. We just are getting this category revenue. This we get it here. Get revenue by, we have this function, get revenue by main category. You can see we first get the products. From there, we just get the total revenue for each. Okay, and then you can see here we are returning this. Okay, now the problem, actually, this is the point where we are supposed to return, because I guess onto this on the actual one, this one, it has three things. It has the key, okay, for instance, the browser, the visitors, and then finally it has a field, okay, and the field, as you can see, is different. Okay, and the field here is different, and they are getting this field, I think, from this chart config. So I don't know if how we can pass that. As you can see here, it has this Chrome, color Chrome, which is actually a key here. Okay, this Chrome is a key here. Okay, so basically, if I'm to manipulate that, but story short, it actually didn't. The chart data was fading, very properly. But as you can see, the color fade to render. And I can just show you here. This, you can see this color, they have this default color, which is like blackish. The actual color didn't actually render. Even if we go to the dark mode or something, the color, you can see it still have this default color. The colors themselves didn't render. Okay. So for that case, right now, if you had to figure out and why it didn't work is because of the dynamics. As I've said, the chart data is, we need to add now one thing. If I am to console the chart data, can I console it? I'm just going to come here and the chart data. So you can see what we're using as chart data here on the pie chart. The data here is category revenue. So if I just console.log category revenue, I'm just going to go here and console.log category revenue. Just like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and first actually remove the console we did here. Very first. The one we did somewhere here. This one for sales. So they can just look at this one. So I just want to look at this. Okay. If you just go down here, you can see it is here. Okay. I have computers. Okay. And let's see. I just want the one which has an array. A 65. Which one do we want? We want the one which is here on line 30. We have another one. This, just remove this config. So we want the one that has these 5 items. As you can see them, we have computer accessories. We have these computer accessories, phone, electronics, fashion, this, and they have the values. So if you just look at this, this is missing one thing actually. Okay, as you can see, this is should be a number. This should be a string. According to this, okay, the chart data they have here. This, you need a string. You need this one. You need a field. Okay. I can just like put them in this exact format. I need a field here, right? So the field we didn't actually put. But then how do we generate a field? So we need to first also generate this chart config. Okay. Chart config, you can see the first one has visitors. Okay, and then it has these ones. Now to get the chart config in this one, we have to have a function that is going to generate the chart config. As you can see, generate chart config function, and it is taking all the colors, chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, and then gets the config by first of all, we initialize the config with revenue, and then from there we have the category dot for each. So here we are looping through the data we are getting, and then we are just getting the title, and you can see how I'm getting the title. I'm splitting it also here, and then having this. So if I just come here and I console.log chart config, of which I want to show you the chart config, we actually had it here. Chart config, you can see computers, electronics, fashion, home, so on and so forth. Okay, so now that we have the titles being generated from there, we need to use it in the other side. And as I've said, this is the most hard part where you will most likely to fail. So this is how I'm generating the object. I'm just generating the title words and then the key. Okay. So I'm just going to copy these two, just like this. Okay. You can see the label is gotten from the title words here at 0. Okay, title word is at 0. So I have to generate using this thing here in to modify a little bit. I'm just going to modify a little bit inside here in this here. If you just look at get revenue by main category, I just need to go down here where I'm generating this. I need to add one more thing. First of all, the revenue has to come first, I guess. Really? No. It has to be the second. Then here we have the field. Okay. Now I need to generate also the field by from getting where we did a map inside here. You can see everything is done within inside. If I just do this, main category, the title. Okay. So I need to generate a field. I'm just going to do this. So title words, I need to first cut this. There are some words which are like electronics, or which are just like computer and accessories. If you have a word which is like computer and accessories, I'm cutting this word into just a single word like this. To do that, what I need to do this is the one getting the main category, the title, and I split it. This gives me back an array. And then I can just get main category key by getting this, and then I convert it into lowercase. So when I'm generating a field, if you remember very well, this side, the field must be in this format. I just show you here. You can see the field is in this format. I'm just going to copy it, field, and the field is in this format, just like this. Field, you can put something like this. So I have to put color, and then this is the key. And to do that, I think I need to do something like this. Okay. And then here I'm just going to say color, and then the main category key. So here I'm just going to say dollar main category key. I think something like this. This key here, and then we put it here because it's not just going to be in the other side. I think we don't have any issues with types as per se. I don't know if this return should have a field, which is a string. If I just go to main category revenue, I'm just going to add one thing, which is a field, and it's a string, just like that. Now, to avoid any errors, I can just like put it as not required. Okay. So if we just go back to this side now, okay, this somehow this should just like now improve. Let's go back. Okay, so you can now see like the color now has reflected. Okay, somehow now we don't have the other color we had. We have now a different color right now. And as I've said, it's just a matter of just studying how the object is, and then you try to generate according to that. Okay. Now, is I think also we have, if I just go back this side to analytics, what is analytics? Okay, so it is just a matter of just like making sure that you are following exactly the I can just go back to, okay, we are in the wrong project automatically here. So the problem is always on how you return this kind of object here. Okay, this is where the problem is. If you can manage to return your data back from the backend or from your database proper like this, then you will not have any problems having it working onto the UI. Okay, yeah. So I think you have learned something from this video. And if you have just liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave an example of these charts I showed you here. Okay, just going to leave an example of this one where you can get them. And I also just maybe include these other components that we added into the other projects. I have no problem giving you so that you can also use that to see. But I'll not give you, of course, the whole entire projects. This one I will not, but I will just leave you with this one you have just added. I think you have gotten the concept. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.